Good day, guys. So today we're going to be flying into Manila from Sydney. So we're here at Sydney's International Terminal. It's quite busy in the morning. Usually it's this time of the day that's busiest in this terminal. Usually from 6 a.m. to around 11. It's pretty busy because that's when a lot of the flights from Asia, particularly in Southeast Asia, and then a lot of the flights from North America arrives. And then it'll be quiet around midday, but then it gets busy early in the evening as well, because a lot of the departures from flights connecting to Europe via Asia and then North America departs as well. So Sydney to Manila and Manila to Sydney is a route that I fly quite often, being based in both cities. So I'm familiar with this flight. So I'm just going to share you a bit of my experience. Let's have a walk around the terminal, and then the experience with my flight as well by Qantas. So currently there's Qantas, Philippine Airlines or PAL, and Cebu Pacific that's flying the route. So there's three of them basically. But today we're going to be in Qantas. I also have flights with PAL and Cebu Pacific on my channel that you could check out as well. So we're going to have a bit of a walk towards the terminal as we walk towards our gate. And it's pretty busy, not hectic, but pretty busy and lively at this time of the day at the terminal. So we're going to continue walking towards our gate. Sydney terminal has undergone quite a lot of renovations that are ongoing and still ongoing up to now on different sections of the international terminal. They're currently constructing the second airport in Sydney, in Sydney's west, in Badgerys Creek. But for the meantime, this is the primary gateway for Sydney, and in many ways in Australia as well, because a lot of the flights going into regional Australia have to go by here, or in the other cities as well, depending on where you're coming from. So we're almost at our gate. So me and my wife will be flying Qantas. Family is actually flying into Manila as well. My brother is flying to Manila as well, and he'll be on the PAL flight. We're going past the PAL gate right now. So they leave 1 hour from each other. The PAL flight leaves 1 hour earlier, and then the Qantas and Cebu Pacific flight usually leaves around 12:30ish. Or I think the Cebu Pacific might be a bit later, more or less. But usually the PAL flight departs first, and most of the time it's the Airbus A330-200 that most of these three airlines use. Although sometimes, if you're lucky, the PAL will use the A350, which I have experienced, and I have a video of that on this channel as well. Anyway, let's move along. So there's my brother's flight pushing back. He's on board this flight on one of PAL's Airbus A330-200. So he'll be arriving at least an hour earlier from us. And because he's flying PAL, he's actually going to be arriving in Terminal 2. Whereas we being on Qantas, or if you're flying in Cebu Pacific, you're going to be arriving in Manila's Terminal 3, which is the newest of the three terminals. Technically there's four, because there's a small domestic terminal as well for small aircrafts for inter-island flights. But anyway, we will be in Terminal 3, and we will be picked up by my parents when we arrive in Manila. So more or less, on average, it'll be at least an 8-hour flight, sometimes longer depending on the traffic as well, but also the weather. So I'm just going to watch my brother's flight depart, and then we'll be heading towards our gate, which is pretty much next to this gate anyway. By the way, guys, it's important to note when you're flying into Manila, Philippines, that there's a lot of new changes happening in the terminals and in the airport itself. So, for example, a lot of you guys who fly by PAL are used to seeing PAL's arrival at Terminal 2 when you're arriving on a lot of your domestic and international flights. So as of now, some flights, particularly flights in North America, are in Terminal 1, and eventually it will all be in Terminal 1. At this stage, some flights are still in Terminal 2, but eventually it will be in Terminal 1. So there will be some changes because there is plan to make Terminal 2 in Manila purely domestic for, I do believe, PAL as well, but also for other airlines like Cebu Pacific and maybe even Air Asia. But the main goal is to make it as a domestic terminal because it's actually designed as a domestic terminal in the first place anyway. It was never meant to be an international terminal, and a lot of you guys would notice that a lot of the gates are designed for narrow body aircraft, especially in the other wing of the terminal, and you will notice that there's a small immigration section because it was not really designed to be a international terminal. It's meant to be for domestic flights only. However, Terminal 1 is, as you know, a lot of you guys know, are over capacity. So eventually the goal is to make that as purely for PAL terminal, and the rest of the other airlines will be in Terminal 3, which is supposed to be the newest of the three terminals and has the highest capacity. It's definitely more modern than Terminals 1 and 2, that's for sure. But we will be in Terminal 3 today, being on Qantas flight. Anyway, here's our flight, which is on board Qantas flight. The plane's named Tamar Valley or Tamar Valley, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Registration is VH-EBF. It's actually an Airbus A330-200, which is a slightly shorter variant of the A330-300 version. And we're heading towards the aircraft now. We're boarding. So nice to know that travel's back after the long lockdown in this COVID period. Things are starting to get back to normal, and today is certainly proof of that. It's a full flight, and I saw on my brother's flight that left earlier via PAL is also a full flight. So I've been on a few Qantas flights. The product on this particular aircraft, on the Airbus A330-200, particularly this one, the Tamar Valley, it's a little bit older than the other newer A330-300 that I flew on, which has a bigger screen and definitely a much better monitor than this one. So those are on the Qantas A330-300 aircraft, but I'm on the A330-200 aircraft. So hopefully on the way back we will be on the A330-300 with the newer products. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking for now as the in-flight safety video is playing. I'll let you guys listen to it for a bit as we push back. and head towards the runway for our takeoff for our departure for Manila.
And tighten the strap. Oxygen will flow without the bag inflating. Fit your own mask first and then help others.
In the unlikely event of an emergency, you should be familiar with the brace position appropriate to your seat. If you can reach the seat in front, brace by folding your arms and resting your forehead on your arms. If you're seated behind a bulkhead or you can't reach the seat in front, lean as far forward as you can and hold on to your lower legs. If your seat has a sash belt, sit upright, place your hands on your legs and bring your chin to your chest.
Welcome to the 1960s, when Qantas brought the world closer together. Welcome to Australia. Take a moment to locate your exit as the cabin crew point them out. It might be behind you. To remember your nearest exit, count the number of rows between you and that exit. Lights will guide you to your exits. Your crew members are pointing them out now. Welcome to the 1970s, when Qantas first introduced business class.
Before you get underway, make sure all your bags are in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you.
Smoking isn't allowed on Qantas flights anymore. Your aircraft is fitted with smoke detectors, including in the toilets, so there's no smoking until you're back on the ground. This includes e-cigarettes, whatever they are.
There was a Qantas employee, Jack Grant, who invented the very first inflatable escape slide raft. Your aircraft today is fitted with escape slides and life rafts, which the crew will operate in an emergency. If you need to evacuate, leave all items behind. Slide, leaning forward with your hands on your knees.
If you have an electronic device, it's time to switch it to flight mode. I'm pretty sure I won't lose my phone, but if you use yours, please avoid moving your seat or trying to retrieve it, as phones and tablets may be damaged or destroyed if caught in the seat mechanism. Just ask a crew member for help.
The 90s saw another first for Qantas, when we wrapped one of our Boeing 747s in the flying art of Wonala dreaming. You can read more about what we're doing today in your Qantas magazine, located in your seat pocket. It's time to ensure your seat back is upright and your tray table is stowed. If you're in business, return your seat to the upright or preset recline position and unplug any headsets or cables attached to the seat in front. If you've missed anything, it's on your safety card, also in your seat pocket.
Your crew are here to help, so please follow the instructions at all times.
Whether you're starting your journey or heading home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing respect to each other and our crew.
Thank you for your loyalty.
Thank you for your support.
And thank you for your attention. Have a great flight.
Just a reminder, if oxygen is required, you must wear your face mask before putting oxygen mask that will drop from above you. is now off. For your safety, it's best to keep it fastened whenever you're seated. If you lose an electronic device, it's important you don't move your seat. That's specifically damage the device and may be a fire hazard. Just ask a crew member for help. For your safety, we don't allow anyone, including children, to sleep on the floor. Once again, it's a pleasure having you on board.
One thing that I noticed whenever flying Qantas back to Manila is they have at least one of their cabin crew that speaks in Filipino or Tagalog, a non-native Filipino speaker that speaks the language, which I think is a great added touch.
Makikita ang ginawa, hindi na nakahilo ang simple sign. Gamit lang yung sipat na pagkaya na po. Kung mahulog ang iyong electronic device, magigurog ang grupuan at makatuloy na ipin at manasok. Sumat ang sunog. Humingi ng tulong sa isang crew. Para sa inyong kaligtasan, magtulog sa sahig. Maraming salamat.
So there were three options in the meal for this flight. So there was a noodle dish with chicken, and then there's rice with black pepper beef and vegetables, and then there's a vegetarian option as well. I opted for the black pepper beef with rice. I liked it and I finished it. I was tempted to go for the chicken with noodles, but I wanted to have rice. But I really liked it. The meal was actually quite tasty and I finished it. They will then continue the service with some nibbles, and they give you drinks. I usually go for orange juice, but as you can see with my main meal, there's lemonade, there's water, and there's Coke. So I can say on this flight there's plenty of offerings of liquids. They're quite generous on it, so that's good. So let's have a look at the Qantas flight entertainment system. So as I said, we're on board an Airbus A330-200, not the Series 300. So I'm not sure if it's the same for all Airbus A330-200 of Qantas fleet, but I do know that this A330-200 named Tamar Valley has an older in-flight entertainment system compared to the newer A330-300s that I've been on recently. So the monitor or the screen on this is actually smaller, and you can see it's starting to show its age. It's not as responsive anymore. Having said that, I do have to say that the Qantas entertainment system, at least the software that they use, is one of the best ones out there. The layout is really good, and there's a lot of choices. I found it to be one of the easiest ones that I've used in among the few airlines that I've been in the last few years. So there's a lot of choices that you guys can see. It's just that it's not as responsive as the ones that I've experienced on the Qantas A330-300 fleet. But otherwise, the choice is the same. The menu is the same because it's the same platform anyway. It's just that the screen itself is actually a little bit smaller, and it's not as clear. But otherwise, it's easy to navigate through. So it's actually one of my favorite in-flight entertainment system among the few airlines that I flew on the last few years. Hopefully though, on the way back, we will be flying on an Airbus A330-300 again. I do have a video of that, and you will see what I mean. The product on that Qantas A330-300 is although similar product, but it's actually newer and the screen is actually bigger. So we're currently flying above North Maluku Island, above Indonesia, as we push further north towards Mindanao mainland and then eventually towards Manila in the Philippines. As we reach mainland Mindanao, there would be another meal service, this time only a sandwich and a drink, usually a orange juice with water or a sandwich with another coffee or tea depending on what you like. I usually get water and orange juice. It's basically just a ham and egg sandwich, which I do prefer. Flying this route multiple times, PAL also does a serving of a sandwich before you arrive towards Manila. Their offering is basically tuna and egg, but I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I do prefer this one slightly, but not by much. I'm not a fan of both the sandwiches overall, but I do slightly prefer this one. So we're now well and truly within the Philippine archipelago, just flying above the Visayas and pushing up north, and very soon we'll be starting our descent towards Metro Manila. So almost there, guys. So we've now well and truly started our descent towards Manila. So I'm going to stop talking for now and let you guys enjoy the sound and the sights and the view. And I'll speak to you soon when we get to the terminal. Enjoy. Okay guys, if you look down below, you will see the crater of Taal Volcano, and you will see it's vastly different from what it used to look like. Especially the activity that it's had. It's been quite active, especially in the last 2 to 3 years. It's had quite a few eruption, and it's caused a lot of disruption in the life of the local people that live around the Taal area. Yeah, it's very active volcano. It looks amazing though, so yeah, it's nice to see it from above. By the way guys, if you see that big patch of straight land that's being constructed at the bottom, that's actually the new Zapote train station being constructed as part of the light rail or LRT1 extension for the light rail line 1 of Metro Manila, which will connect it from Baclaran station. It will go all the way to Cavite once completed, and it's almost done.
Welcome to Manila, where the local time is 5:52 p.m. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the super sign is off. As always, smoking, vaping, and
Alright guys, so we have now touched down at Manila International Airport here in hot humid Metro Manila. So we're taxiing towards Terminal 3. You would actually see that Manila is a major hub for aircraft maintenance for many major airlines around the world. One of them is Lufthansa, so that's why you could see a lot of the Lufthansa aircrafts around here. There's currently 2 on maintenance at the moment, and it handles all sorts of aircraft, but primarily for Airbus, particularly the A380. Anyway, we're heading towards Terminal 3.
Nanatili po ako po habang mababalang ang nakapit ang seatbelt pa. Kung kaya buti ng iyong mga mobile na telepono, maaaring na i-switch off ang flight mode at gamitin. Mag-ingat sa pagbukas ng locker dahil baka may mahulog na gamit. Tiyakin na nakuha ang gamit mula sa upuan at seat pocket. Kapag hindi na nakailaw ang seatbelt sign, lumabas ang pituan sa harapan. Sa ngalang Qantas Team at One Road, salamat sa pagtangkilik. Kung bibisita dito, maligang pagpasyal. At sa uwi dito, maligang pagbalik. Maraming salamat.
So if you've stayed till the end, thanks very much for watching the video, guys. I have more of the same coming. I love flying and traveling, so definitely a lot more to come, so stay tuned in the channel.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
Anyway, we are at Terminal 3 now. Based on experience of all the terminals, I prefer Terminal 3, which is one of the reasons why I flew Qantas, because I can't speak for everyone, but I guess for me, I seem to have the most efficient service, and I seem to have the easiest time when I'm at Terminal 3. It's usually faster, both departure and arrival. Anyway, I'm gonna head towards immigration now, and then me and my wife will be picked up at Terminal 3 by my parents, and we'll head back to Laguna. Anyway, we're gonna let this clip roll. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for staying by, and I'll see you again soon. More videos to come, more of the same. Thanks again.